Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Ways of the Sith. Thank you so much for taking time to check out the channel. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on X and Instagram at Ways of the Sith. So the Strange Tales wave from Marvel Legends finally showed up. They rolled in slowly, so that's why they're not all in the box. I filmed these as I got them, so all the reviews are concurrent and in the order of how I received them. And I figured I'd just edit them all together into one video. And we're going to take a look at Blackheart. We're going to take a look at everybody in this wave. So let's check them out. All right, so here's a look at Dracula outside of the package. And I really dig this a lot. The sculpt looks awesome. The likeness looks awesome. I love the armor and the way they did the cape. It hinders, you know, the upper arm, obviously. But you can kind of bend it and get it around, and the way it's like bunched up, you can kind of get it to sit like, you know, it's swaying. So that is a nice little touch. Would have loved a wired cape with this. Oh, it would have been fantastic. But I do love the head sculpt, and I love the fact that the ponytails are on, you know, that pin, just like the Jean Grey and Whiplash. So you can plug these in and swap these out with the different head sculpts, which is really nice. It does come with a separate head sculpt that's just a more neutral look, which is pretty cool. And then you have the more neutral hair, you know, ponytail. But I kind of like the way this looks with the open and the hair swaying. I just think he looks really awesome. He also comes with his sword, obviously. So this is a great addition to the Marvel Legends. I'm gonna put him right next to Blade. All right, and here's a look at Brother Voodoo, and I really like this outside of the package. I think this looks so cool. Again, a little bit hindered by the cape. That's always going to happen with the Marvel Legends, but I love the way this looks. He comes with extra hands, and then comes with his staff, and then also comes with power effects, which are really awesome. And then you get a fist and like a trigger hand. So depending on, you know, how you want to have him set up. But I really dig this. So far, I really like this wave a lot. And like I said, it's really cool to get something like this around Halloween. Would have been nice to get Werewolf by Night included in this wave, like a comic version. I know they still haven't done the Marvel Legend yet either, so hopefully for the movie version, we get something one way or another, or maybe something like Man-Thing, where it's like kind of meets in the middle. That would be really cool to round out the rest of this wave. All right, and here's a look at Damon Hellstrum outside of the package, and I really dig this. Now, I didn't even think about this, that this was originally one of the figures included with the HasLab Hellcharger. So, fingers crossed that what they're teasing for New York Comic-Con is a offering of Mephisto made to order. That would be perfect, in my opinion. Especially if we can get the throne with them. That would 100% be worth it for me. I would also like a comic version of Madeline Pryor. I currently have one of the animated. I bought a bunch of those X-Men 97 versions of her because she's one of my favorite characters. So I have one with all of my Strange Tales and Marvel Magic characters, but I would love like a comic version in her, even her current outfit with the crown. That would be awesome. But this version of Hellstrom is pretty cool. So all pinless, really nice. Has the butterfly joints. I think this makes a great custom fodder too. Like, you know, it's very rare you get bare arms, bare chest, and like feet and legs. So you definitely can make a couple different figures out of this. So I see some people picking this up for that. But in my opinion, it's really great. I love the likeness. Now, I'm familiar with Hellstrom from, what was that? The Circle of Five storyline in Agent Venom. He was a big part of that. I know he went evil at some point. I think now he's back to being good. Maybe he's still evil. I'm not exactly sure. But he is the son of the devil, and pretty awesome. And here's a look at Bloodstorm outside of the box. And out of all the figures, everything else is updated on newer stuff. Maybe not the Wolverine, the Hellverine is on a pinned body, but this is on an extremely old body. I believe this was like the mold for the Jessica Drew that's in the Comic-Con box set. Or Jessica Jones, I'm sorry, Jessica Jones box set. Because it's the same coat and the same legs and boots. So maybe the torso's different, but otherwise, to me, I think it's pretty much the same thing. Obviously, you could easily make a nice Jessica Jones using this body if you have no use for this Storm. Oddly enough, when I was a kid and started getting comics, I didn't know when comics came out. I didn't know there was like an order to them. So I had a little bodega down in my town, and whenever my mom or my grandma would have to stop in there because it had the pharmacy, I would be able to grab an issue. So the first time I ever saw Storm was this version of her. I didn't know anything about her with other powers. I just knew she was a vampire. So then when I saw her on X-Men the animated series, I was so confused and had to like figure out, you know, well, who's this character then? But it's cool to get this version of her. It looks good. I tried a couple other Storm heads on this just to see how it looks, and you can definitely get by with just swapping the head and making this like a regular Storm in your collection. She also comes with the alternate head sculpt with the mouth closed, but I really like this one because the hair's more expressive and, you know, obviously just looks a lot better. But it's a cool figure. Probably the weakest one out of the wave, this and Lilith, I would say. But overall, I couldn't be more happier with the entire wave. All right, so here's a look at Moonknight outside of the box. And believe it or not, this is the first Moonknight I have in my collection. This is the West Coast Avengers iteration of Moonknight. And I really, really like this one over just like the plain white one that came out on the retro card. In all honesty, I was never the biggest Moonknight fan. I didn't really care for the show, but Jed MacKay's current run of Moonknight really has me loving the character. He's involved with the vampires, and it's a really awesome story with Dracula and coming out of Blood Hunt. Really, really cool. So having this representation on the shelf is really, really awesome to me. With all of these figures, I'm building out my magic and mystical, I guess, display, you can call it. So this is the perfect fit. I already have the Khonshu Build-A-Figure, so this Moonknight's gonna go right in front. As you can see, he's got the scarabs on his arm, which is a nice little touch, and then the insignia on the belt. So really, really cool. He poses pretty well. This cape, though, is a little bit of a problem. The fact that you can kick it out is nice, because then, you know, you can kind of use it to help you pose a little bit. So it's not horrible, but a cloth cape would go a long way on this. It comes with a bow staff. It comes with the cross, which is really cool, the Egyptian cross. Comes with throwing moon. And then I noticed on the fists, you can take these extra accessories and they actually have little notches on them, and you can pop these little Moonknight crescents in there as I knock one out. But you get the idea. You can put them in there and make it look like he's throwing them, and it works on both fists. So that's a cool little touch that I've never seen them do before. Really, really awesome. Now, if you're like me and thinking, do I really need another Wolverine in my display? The answer is yes. Yes, you do. This is so cool. I absolutely love this. Getting it in hand is so much better than the promo images. I love the flame effects on the claws, and I love the translucent on the flames themselves. As you can see, when I hold it closer to the light, you really get a nice shine through there. So this is awesome. This is gonna look great with this display, and yeah, I had to pick this up. Totally worth it, in my opinion. This is the Wolverine version of Hellverine. We hopefully will get a Dakin version. I forget what his new name is. It's not Dakin anymore. He's going by something else, but he is currently Hellverine now. So it would be really, really cool to get that as well. And honestly, this is the one character out of this wave that I really know nothing about. This is Lilith. I'm guessing it's based off the biblical Lilith. the first demon. So I'm assuming that's what she is in the Marvel Universe. I didn't bother to read like a biography on her or anything like that. I probably would have preferred another figure to get this spot. There's a lot of other mystical characters that would have fit this, I think, a little bit better. But overall, she's a nice figure. I can't take that away from her. The cape plugs in on the back and can be moved around. The hair is like not hair. It's more like a shadow overlay type thing, as you can see. But you can get some cool, you know, looks out of it with the cape being able to move. Overall, she's a nice figure. Did I need her? No, but I'm happy I got her to complete Blackheart. And here's what we were all waiting on. Here is Blackheart, all put together, and I'm so happy to have him in the collection. The tail, I noticed, it's not listed as bendy wire, but it is pliable. It does move. You can kind of reposition it to get it to stand, you know, the way you want it to. So I kind of have it, you know, leaning on it to use, but I love this. I have no issues with it. I did see some people talking about like shoulder issues and like the ball joints not fitting in right on the arms into the shoulder. I don't have that problem with mine. The head is incredible. This figure is gigantic. I'm gonna bring Hellstrum in just so you can see like the size comparison on this and how much bigger. And his knees are bent, so take that into account. But he's like definitely a hell of a lot taller than most figures, and such a cool builder figure to get. Like I was saying, hopefully now this means we'll get Mephisto offered to us at least. That would be really cool, especially if he's done like Dragon Man where he's just made to order. I would be all in on that. But Blackheart, another character for your Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is really cool, and I love that Marvel Legends team is kind of getting in on the fun, because I'm sure they're aware that most of us are collecting the Jada Street Fighter figures along with Marvel Legends and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see that crossover, and I know the rumor is that we're actually going to get a full Marvel Capcom wave at some point next year, so that'll be even better. Well, that'll do it for today. Overall, I'm a huge fan of this wave. Rather than getting the repaints or the holiday editions like Black Series and whatever other brand they did it with, I much prefer this. Keep this a thing, maybe going forward every October, give us a Strange Tales wave. I think that would be really cool. There's tons of Build-A-Figures for mystical and magical creatures. There's tons of obscure characters that they could do and get into this wave and get in people's hands. So in my opinion, it's just a good thing. All of these figures are really great. The Storm, like I said, being on old articulation, that's maybe the only like drawback. And Lilith being a character that I'm not very familiar with. I don't really need either one of those, but I'm glad that I got them. Does that make sense? Especially for putting together Blackheart. It's just awesome. Tons of parts you can use for custom. So if there's somebody in this that you're not necessarily thrilled about getting, it's easy to take these and just use them for parts, or probably trade bait. But I really like the wave. I'm glad to be building out my Marvel Magic display. It was a display that I hadn't intended on, but I'm glad that now I have it. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and if you're going to be picking up any of these figures or you're doing the whole wave, let me know. The comments help out the channel immensely. So even if it's just to say hi, please make sure to try to leave a comment. Thanks so much for taking time to check out the video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, may the force be with you. This is The Ways.
We would be honored if you would join us.